All right, so we'll start sitting. Just a quick little moment to prepare our bodies and minds for the practice. So find a comfortable seated position. It can be directly on the floor, or you can elevate the hips onto a bolster or a pillow. And then close the eyes gently and just rest your hands on the knees, on the thighs, wherever they naturally land. Just take a couple deep breaths and allow the deep breaths to bring your attention inwards into the center of the body. Settling in, just allowing the attention to shift from an outward focus to an inward focus. Coming into the body and settling into whatever is present for you right now. Whether that's a physical sensation, or if it's an emotional sensation, or mental sensation. In other words, a thought running through your head. Whatever it is that you're noticing that's present for you right now, just noticing it without necessarily trying to change it or label it as good or bad. Just allowing it to be there and just noticing what's with you today in this moment. And turn your attention to the breath, watching the breath move in and out through the nostrils. And just noticing as the breath travels into the body, how the body is moving as a result of the breath. So maybe the lower belly is moving out a little bit on the inhale and moving back in on the exhale. Maybe there's some expansion and contraction in the rib cage or in the chest, or the shoulders are rising and falling, observing how the breath is moving through the body and how the body is moving as a result of the breath. Just observing that for a moment. Observing the expansion and the contractions in the body. Observing the pathway of the breath and the direction of the breath. Is the breath moving in or is it moving out? Noticing these details of the breath. And now we're going to do just a quick breathing exercise that I really like because I feel it really brings my attention into that single point of the breath. This isn't necessarily the type of breathing we use for asana, but I just think it's a good preparation breath work. So it's going to be 2 to 1 breath, which is we'll inhale, our exhales will be twice as long as our inhales. So we'll inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2. Deep breath in. And then exhale, really slow down the breath. So controlling it and letting it out little by little. 2, 1. Inhale for 3. Deep breath in, finding that expansion to fill up the lungs. And then exhale, slowly letting the breath out. Slowly coming into contraction, moving back towards your center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just a couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the shoulders relaxed. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And now keep the breath deep and come back into an equal inhale and exhale. So this is the breath that we're going to use for our asana, matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. And you can count to yourself if the counting is helpful, but just gently start working back to an equal breath. Without straining the breath too much, we don't have to find our full lung capacity. Just gently, deeply inhaling and deeply exhaling. Starting to find a steady breath and smoothing out the edges of the breath. Really settle into this breath. Just become familiar with what this breath feels like so that you can quickly access it during asana when you're doing a difficult posture, or if you've lost that connection to the breath. You know what you're looking for. You know what to come back to. So fully coming into that steady, smooth breath in this moment. Good. Just a couple more rounds here. Good. And at the bottom of your last exhale, you can bring the palms to heart center. And we'll start with the opening mantra for Ashtanga Yoga. I'll start with an Om and I'll chant it straight through, so you can join me or you can just listen. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Vande Gurunam Charanaravindeya Sandarshita Suatma Sukha Vabode Nishreyase Jangali Khayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasi dharinam sahasra shirasam shwetam pranamami patanjalim. Exhale the hands back down to your knees. Gently open the eyes. Good. And when you're ready, we'll get started in Samasthitihi. So you can come to the top of the mat, feet together. Good. So you want your big toes touching with the heels slightly apart. And then pressing down evenly through all four corners of the feet. Relaxing the toes, evenly distributing the weight between both feet. And then from that stability, from that pressing down through the feet, engage through the legs and start lifting up. Pulling the lower belly in, tucking the tailbone under, and lengthening through the spine. So imagine like you're creating a space between each vertebrae. Spreading through the collarbones, relaxing the shoulders down the back. Lengthening through the neck, and then drawing the chin in just a little bit so that the ears are over the shoulders, and then keep reaching up through the crown of the head. So by doing this, we tune into our center line, our plumb line that moves down in between the feet, through the feet, down through the ground, moves up through the center of the body, and reaches up through the crown of the head. So just taking a moment to really orient yourself around this center line. And then we'll find that steady, even breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Always in and out through the nose for Ashtanga Yoga. And we'll start with Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, bring the arms over your head. Wrap the shoulders forward. Palms touch, gazing up. Exhale as the pelvis tilts back, the chest reaches forward, long spine, hands to the mat. Relax over the legs, relax the neck. You can bend the knees here if you need to. Inhale into half lift, reach the chest forward, fingertips or palms on the floor or hands on the shins. Exhale, step back into a plank, shoulders over the wrist. You can lower the knees here if you need to modify, pull the lower belly in. Exhale, bend the elbows, chaturanga dandasana. We'll take this first one a little bit slow. Inhale and then we'll speed it up. Upward facing dog, lift the chest. You can micro bend the elbows a little bit if you feel compression in the lower back. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Settling into the body and coming back into the breath if you've lost that connection. Matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. Steady breathing. Engaging through the legs and reaching the heels down towards the floor. Relaxing the neck. Gazing up towards the thighs. Take one more breath here. Full breath. And then fully exhaling. On your inhale, start to come to the top of the mat. Feet together into half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Pull the lower belly in. Relax the neck. Inhale, come to stand. Arms over your head. Palms touch, gazing up. Exhale, slowly bring the hands back down as you keep reaching up through the crown of the head. Again, inhale, arms over your head, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, half lift. Remember your options here. Exhale, step back into a plank. Lower the knees if you need to, or keep the knees up. Bend the elbows, keep the lower belly pulled in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, into downward facing dog. Good. So just tuning into these initial moments and moving the body and just checking how you feel. How's the body doing today? Do you need to modify? Do you not need to modify? Take the versions that work for you today. And then you can turn the attention to the breath. Steady, smooth breath in and out through the nose. 4. 5. Fully exhaling. And on your inhale, start to walk up into half lift, lengthening, flattening the back. Exhale, fold over the legs. Legs are strong. Inhale, come to stand. Press down through the feet. Reach up, move the rib cage away from the hips. Exhale, samasthiti. Again, inhale, moving with the breath. Exhale, fold forward, long, full breath out. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back into a plank. Finish the exhale at the bottom of the plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the chest, drop the hips towards the floor. Exhale, into downward facing dog. You can either roll through the toes. If you need a modification, you can lower the knees, tuck the toes, and lift the hips. Good. Find adjusting points. Somewhere to settle the gaze, and then come into the breath. Checking in with the shoulders, make sure the shoulder blades are moving away from each other and they're wrapping around towards the front of the body. So the upper back is getting nice and wide. 3. Smooth, steady breath. 4. 5. Inhale, gazing forward, walk or jump into half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to stand. Press down to reach up. Exhale, samasthiti. Again, inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Keep drawing in the lower belly. Inhale, press down to the base of the big toes as you lift. Exhale, step back. Shoulders away from the ears as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, into downward facing dog. Good. 1. 2. 3. Deep breaths. Five. Inhale, step or jump into half lift. Pull the lower belly in, reach to the center of the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to stand, arms over your head. Exhale, Samasthiti. Last one. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, full breath out. Relax the back and the neck. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, step back, finish the exhale. At the bottom of the plank, remember, lower the knees if you need to. Inhale, lift the chest, press the shoulders down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Reconnect with the breath, matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. And smoothing out the edges of the breath, the transition as the inhale becomes the exhale. As the exhale becomes the inhale, smoothing that out. Make sure the neck is relaxed, gazing up towards the thighs or towards the navel. I'm feeling into that expansion and contraction of the rib cage as the breath moves in and out of the body. Keep the lower belly pulled in. On your next inhale, make your way to the top of the mat into half lift, lengthening. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to stand, arms up, gazing up. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, let's move into Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, sink the hips down, lift the chest, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward with the legs as straight as you can. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, now we're going to hold this plank. Now that we're a little bit warm, we can start to take a look at chaturanga dandasana. Shoulders over the wrists. Let's hold the plank. Make sure the shoulders are away from the ears and you're pressing the shoulders down. So you're lifting through the center of your upper back. So you're protracting the shoulders. And this allows us to connect into our core. Pull the lower belly in, engage through the core, engage through the legs. Keep reaching through the heels as you reach through the crown of the head. All right, inhale. On your exhale, we're going to bend the elbows. You can lower the knees if you need to in order to maintain the shoulders. And as you bend the elbows, you're going to shift the gaze forward just a little bit as you keep the shoulder blades away from each other. So you don't want to pinch the shoulder blades there. Good. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. We'll look a little bit more detail on the next one. Inhale, bring the right foot forward. Lower the back heel. Feel the foundation into your legs as you inhale, lift the chest. Palms touch, gazing up. Exhale, find your plank again. Shoulders away from the ears, press the shoulders down, pull the lower belly in. And you're going to shift forward just a little bit so that when you bend the elbows, you're coming towards a 90-degree angle or a 45-degree angle with the arms. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward. It gets a lot harder once you start to slow chaturanga down. Inhale, lift the chest. Palms touch, gazing up. Exhale. Come down, find your plank. Find your foundation first, shoulders away from the ears. Press the shoulders down. Pull the lower belly in. Exhale, shift forward just a little bit. Gaze forward. Bend the elbows. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you need to take child's pose, you can take child's pose here. If you feel like you can't get your breath under control, then take child's pose. And then come back to that steady breath. Smooth breath. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, step or jump into half lift. Look up and lengthen. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale into chair pose, Utkatasana, bend the knees, lift the chest. Exhale, Samasthiti. Let's do it again. And again, we'll stop at plank and chaturanga and just detail that just a little bit. Inhale, Utkatasana, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward, moving with the breath. Inhale, lift the chest, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, step back into a plank, shoulders away from the ears, press through the shoulders, shift forward, pull the lower belly in, and as you bend the elbows, you want to keep a straight line from the top of the head to the heels. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward. Inhale, pull the lower belly in, lift the chest. Exhale, come back down, find your plank. Shoulders away from the ears. Shift forward a little bit. Tuck the tailbone under, pull the lower belly in, and if the knees are lowered, still keep a straight line. Don't let the hips sink down first. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, left foot forward. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, find your plank, strong shoulders. Again, don't let your hips sink. If your hips are the first thing to touch, you're doing it wrong. Lower the knees if you need to. Slowly come down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Settle back into the breath. 1. Remember, you can take child's pose here if you need to. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, step or jump into half lift. Pull the lower belly in, lengthening. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the chest, gaze up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Good. Normally we do 3 Surya Namaskar, but we're going to move on. Bring the feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, shift the hips back, reach the chest forward, and then catch the big toes. Inhale, look up and lengthen through the spine, strong legs, slightly tuck the tailbone under. You can bend the knees here if you need to. And then exhale, fold forward into the space you created by pulling the lower belly in. Find the breath. 1. Let the crown of the head move towards the mat, gently pulling on the toes. 3. Shoulders away from the ears, so the shoulder blades are moving down the back. So that's a really common pattern we want to establish in yoga. So whenever you get the opportunity, shoulders away from the ears. 5. Inhale, press into the base of the big toes, lift the chest. Exhale there. Inhale, slide the hands underneath the feet for Parahastasana. Exhale, fold over the legs. Now, if the legs are straight, you want to engage through the quads. The knees can be bent again if they need to be. And keep drawing in the lower belly, creating space in the pelvic bowl. And then all of the muscles along the back, they should be relaxed. The neck is relaxed. So a big part of our practice in asana is understanding where we should engage and where we can relax. Using the breath. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Hold it on the exhale. Inhale, come all the way up to the top. Exhale into Samasthiti. All right, let's come into Utthita Trikonasana. Inhale, step the right foot back. Right toe is pointing towards the back. Exhale, take your version. You can either bring the right hand down to the shin, grab the big toe, or this is also a good place to use a block on the outside of the right foot. Reaching up with the left fingers, gazing up to the left fingers or to the side. Find a drishti point, gazing there, and then pressing down through both feet, evenly through both feet, like if you're moving the feet away from each other. And then bringing the torso over that right leg, sit bones coming under you. Good. Make sure, again, the shoulders are away from the ears. Breath is smooth. On your next inhale, come up by pressing into the feet. Pivot the feet, right toes come in, left toes come out. Good, and move into the other side. So notice how that left hip shifts back to make space to bring the left hand down. And then reaching up with the right hand. So you're reaching through both hands across the collarbones, and then you're pressing down through both feet, moving the feet away from each other. And I love to feel that reaction of pressing the feet away from each other and how that kind of spirals the chest up towards the ceiling and the chest over the left leg. Make sure you don't go into a back bend. Keep the tailbone slightly tucked under. Keep the lower belly pulled in. Good. Shoulders, check in with the shoulders. Keep the breath smooth. Good. Y'all look really good. Inhale, come up by pressing down. Good, that's going to be the revolved version. So turn the left toes in, right toes point towards the back of the mat, and you're squaring the hips, squaring the shoulders. You're gonna bring the left hand down to the outside of the right foot. Again, you can use a block, or you can put the hand directly on the floor. And then twisting through the spine, press the left hand down to open across the collarbones and reach the right arm up. Good. Keep pressing back into that left foot so that the hips stay squared. Find your breath. Pull the lower belly in, and again, slightly tuck the tailbone under so you're not coming into an arched lower back. Keep the chest open and reaching forward. So keep finding length through the spine. Take one more breath. On your inhale, come up slowly with control. Good. Pivot the feet, other side, face the front of the mat. Exhale, right hand comes down to the outside of the left foot. Good. Find that pressing down evenly through both feet. Press down to the right hand and start to spiral the chest up towards the ceiling. Keep reaching that right sit bone up towards the ceiling as well to keep the hips squared. Pull the lower belly in, slightly tuck the tailbone under. Keep the breath smooth, steady breathing. Legs are strong. One more breath. On your next inhale, come up slowly with control. Exhale into Samasthiti. Okay, for time I'm going to skip the next posture, Parsvakonasana and the twisting Parsvakonasana. We'll go straight into prostrate Padottanasana. Hands to your hips, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, bring the hands to the mat, fingertips pointing forward, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, and you're bringing the crown of the head towards the mat. If you need to bend the knees a little bit, you can. And if the elbows are bent, you can walk the hands back. Good. And then find your legs. Find the strength through the base of the big toes. And if you have the opening here, you can pull the torso through the legs. See if you can get the crown of the head onto the mat. Again, shoulders moving away from the ears. Establish that pattern here. And then maybe shift the weight forward into the tops of the feet. Keep the spine relaxed, the neck relaxed. Good. On your next inhale, reach the chest forward, hold it on the exhale. Inhale, come all the way up to the top, hands to your hips, exhaling at the top. B, inhale, reach the arms out to the side. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, deep breath in, pull the lower belly in. And then exhale, fold forward. Keep the hands on the hips as you relax the spine, relax the torso, crown of the head moving towards the mat. And again, shoulders away from the ears. Maybe the top of the head touches. Maybe you shift the weight into the base of the big toes. Keep the legs strong. Lower belly pulled in. Find Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. And again, shoulders away from the ears. Shoulder blades moving down the back. Take one more breath here. Fully exhaling. And then inhale, slowly come up, tailbone is heavy. Exhaling at the top. C, inhale, reach through the fingers, arms out to the side. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, spread through the collarbones, but keep the shoulders rolling forward so that the shoulder blades aren't pinching each other. Exhale, folds forward. Keep that pattern in the shoulders. Shoulder blades away from each other. Move the hands away from the hips. Relax the neck. Good. Use the breath to help you relax here. Use your exhales to release whatever needs to be released. Legs are strong. Good. 4. Keep hollowing through the lower belly. 5. Inhale, press down to come up. Exhaling at the top. Okay, last one here. Inhale, hands to your hips, deep breath in. Exhale, folds forward, catch the big toes. Inhale, reach to the center of the chest, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, gently pull on the toes, elbows point towards the ceiling, and the crown of the head comes towards the mat. 1, check in with the shoulders. 2, legs are engaged. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest, hold it on the exhale. Inhale, come all the way up to the top. Exhale into Samastiti. Good. Parsvottanasana, bring the hands into reverse prayer, palms together, or you can bring the fists together, or you can just grab onto opposite elbows. Inhale, step the right foot back, face the back of the mat so the hips and the shoulders are facing the back of the mat. Exhale, folds over the right leg so the center of the chest comes towards the right knee. Keep drawing in the lower belly. And lift the elbows up towards the ceiling so you can keep the chest nice and open. Keep pressing evenly down through both feet. Find the breath, smooth breath. Inhale, come up. Pivot around, face the other side. Exhale, folds over the left leg. So squaring the shoulders over the left leg. Pull the lower belly in, relax the back, relax the neck. And lift the elbows so the collarbones are nice and open. 2, 3, feel that internal rotation to the left leg, pressing down to the base of the left big toe. 4, 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale into Samastiti. All right, we're gonna come down straight to the floor. So we have time for the other things we wanna get covered here today. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, into half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Find your plank. Let's hold plank here again. Press down through the shoulders. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Tuck the tailbone under. Pull the lower belly in. Engage the quads. And then shift forward slightly. Bend the elbows. Keep the body in a straight line. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Okay, let's jump through to seated. If you don't know how to jump through, you can lower the knees, cross the shins, and sit back behind the feet. All right, dandasana. Let's find legs straight, feet flexed. If you're here and you're already like, this is uncomfortable for me, then elevate the hips onto a bolster or a pillow or something. If not, find the feet, and then once you get there, you can follow with me. Flex the feet, bring the feet together, and then press the heels into the floor. Engage through the legs, lift the kneecaps, engage the quads, and feel like a slight internal rotation of the legs. So the legs are spiraling in towards each other. So you're resisting that urge to let the feet fall out to the side, yeah? Find your legs, and then find your sit bones grounding down into the floor. Find your hands onto the floor, a little bit behind the hips, I like, because then I can really make sure that keeps the collarbones nice, spread and open. And then check in with your pelvis. You don't want the pelvis to be tilting anteriorly so that the sit bones are moving back. You want to keep the pelvis neutral, so there's no arch in the lower back. Keep pressing the sit bones or just allowing the sit bones to move down into the mat. Pull the lower belly in and then give a slight lift through the center of the chest. Lifting the center of the chest up and then drawing the chin down towards the center of the chest. Keep pulling in the lower belly. So you want a lot of like lifting sensation in the torso. Lifting through the lower belly, through Uddiyana Bandha, and through the center of the chest. And then it's sort of like when you tuck the chin down, you're like containing all of that energy that you're lifting up through the torso. Good. So once you're here, now we'll start our 5 breaths. 1. Good. Tuning into that expansion and contraction of the rib cage. 2. Shoulders are moving down the back. Don't pinch the shoulder blades together. 3. Good. Find Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. 4. 5. And release that. Let's come into Paschimottanasana. Keep the legs strong. Inhale. Now you're tilting at the pelvis, pivoting at the pelvis to reach the chest forward towards the toes. Catch the big toes, or if that's too far, to catch with keeping the spine straight. Catch the outsides of the legs. Spine is still straight. Lengthening through the spine, pulling the lower belly and finding the space first. And then as you exhale, you fold into that space and you relax the back muscles, relax the neck. Good. And then maybe you're gazing at the toes. If that's uncomfortable for the neck, relax the neck and gaze at the nose. Keep the legs strong, keep pressing the heels into the floor and feeling that internal rotation through the legs, spiraling in towards each other. Again, check in with the shoulders, moving them away from the ears, and keep finding length through the spine. On the inhales, find the length, reach the chest towards the toes. And on the exhales, relax into that space, relax the back and the neck. Again, inhale, pull the lower belly in, reach the chest and the crown of the head towards the toes. And then exhale, relax into that. Good. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. Let's go forward again and take a deeper grip this time. Maybe catching the outsides of the feet, maybe just walking the hands down the legs. Inhale, find the length, reach the chest towards the toes, and then exhale, fold forward. But keep moving in that pattern. As you inhale, find the length and the space, and then exhale, relax into that space. Good. Keep moving with your breath. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, release. Let's come into Purvottanasana, counter pose. Slide the hands behind the hips, fingertips pointing forward. If you need to modify, you can bend the knees and plant the feet in front of your hips. Legs are straight or legs are bent. Same thing, legs are spiraling in towards each other. Shoulders are rolling forward so you're not pinching the shoulder blades towards each other. Inhale, press into the hands, lift the hips up. 1, you can either keep the chin tucked or you can drop the head back. 2, keep lifting through the pelvis. 3, feet touching if the legs are straight. 4, 5, exhale, bring the hips back down. Let's take a vinyasa across the shins. Inhale, make your way into a plank. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Remember all of the pieces. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, into downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, jump through to seated. Okay. Now, before we get into some more shoulder stuff, let's just take a little break with the shoulder stuff and do some hip stuff. Let's do Ardha Baddha Padamottanasana. So bend the right knee. We're going to bring the right leg into lotus. Let the right knee fall out to the side. Pick up the right foot and move it over to the left hip crease as you move your right hip forward as well. If this is not accessible, you can bring the foot above the knee and keep the right foot flexed. If you have the foot at your hip crease, see if you can take the bind, catching the right foot. Inhale, catch the outside of the left foot, and then exhale, fold forward. Good. Same principles for folding forward apply here. The right leg is strong, the lower belly is pulled in, and the back and neck is relaxed. Trying to square the shoulders over the left leg so that the shoulders are in one line. Check in if the right shoulder is lifted up a little bit. Try to move the right shoulder down in line with the left shoulder. Use your breath. Internally rotating through that left leg. One more breath here. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. Good. Let's switch sides. Straighten the right leg. Bend the left knee. Close the knee joints and let the knee fall out to the side. Pick up the left foot and bring it to the right hip crease as you move that left hip forward. Good. Take your modification if you need it. Inhale. Catch the outside of the right foot. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Keep the right leg strong, pressing the right heel into the mat. And square the shoulders over the right leg. Good. Keep drawing into the lower belly. Neck is relaxed, back is relaxed. Good. Keep pressing forward. Keep moving the base of the right big toe forward, reaching through there to encourage that internal rotation of the right leg. One more breath here. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, release that. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale into plank. Strong shoulders, strong core. Exhale, bend the elbows. Now make sure that the elbows are in towards the ribs but not touching the ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. And inhale, jump through to seated. Okay, let's do, actually, come back. Sorry, I got confused for a second. Actually, let's come back into a plank. And let's review those things we did for chaturanga dandasana. Sorry, change my mind. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Press the shoulders away. Press the shoulders down. So you're protracting the shoulders. Okay, now we're going to come down into a dolphin plank. So here's those drills I was talking about for pincha mayurasana. Somebody wanted to do pincha mayurasana. So first we had to get the shoulders super strong. So hold it here. Same things apply. Shoulders away from the ears. Tuck the tailbone under. Pull the lower belly in. Legs are strong. Smooth breath. 3, 4, 5. You're going to stay here now. Pitch the shoulders forward. So now your gaze is in between the thumbs. 1. Keep the core strong. 2. Pitch forward. 3, 4, 5. Come back. Shoulders over the elbows and bring the knees down. Good. So we're going to do that one more time. Then we're going to do another drill. So this is really good to strengthen the shoulders for chaturanga dandasana and for pincha mayurasana. Yeah? So that's basically the position for pincha mayurasana with the forearms down on the floor. But if you're not practicing pincha, totally cool. This is also really good for any arm balancing or for chaturanga dandasana. Okay, so come back to your dolphin plank. Same patterns as chaturanga dandasana. Make sure the shoulders are away from the ears. Tuck the tailbone under so your sit bones are pointing towards the heels. Pull the lower belly in, legs are strong. 3. Keep the breath smooth and steady. 4, 5. Now pitch the shoulders forward and gaze in between the thumbs. 1. Keep the core strong. 2, 3, 4, 5. Back. 1. Shoulders over the elbows. 2. Good. I see you. 3, 4. Don't let the elbows move away from each other. Keep them in. 5. Bring the knees down. Good. All right. We're going to do that again, but now we're going to get closer to the position of pincha mayurasana. So we're going to come into a dolphin pose. So dolphin is like we were just doing, but it's more of like a downward dog shape. Yeah? All right. So with me? Okay. Elbows down, tuck the toes, and lift the hips up. So you want to try to get the shoulders over the elbows. Lift the hips. 1. Maybe come to your toes. 2, 3, keep the breath smooth and steady. 4, keep the elbows and the forearms parallel to each other. 5, again, pitch the shoulders forward. 1, gazing in between the thumbs. 2, 3, 4, press down through the elbows. 5, and come back down to your knees. Take a break. We're gonna do that one more time. Couple things. Make sure the forearms are parallel to each other and you're pressing the elbows down into the mat and the shoulders away from the ears. These are going to be all really important for pincha mayurasana. Okay, again, elbows down, lift the hips. Come to you can either have the feet down or you can lift the heels. And maybe you need to bend the knees a little bit. That's fine. 1, good. Gazing somewhere in between the elbows. 2, keep pressing the elbows down, shoulders away from the ears. 3, 4, 5. Pitch the shoulders forward. 1, shoulders away from the ears. 2, 3, 4, neck is relaxed. 5, come down. Good. Okay. One quick thing before we move on. The shoulders away from the ears is really important because when the shoulders start to come away towards the ears, then the trapezius muscles start to kick in, and that's not very efficient. You want the serratus anterior muscles and the lat muscles to really support the action of the shoulder blades by bringing them down and supporting the shoulder blades so that the shoulder joints are supported. So shoulders away from the ears helps to activate that. So I don't know if you just noticed while we were doing this drill, like this activation through the sides of the rib cage, the serratus anterior. Maybe if you start to feel too much activation up here, then that means the pattern is off a little bit. Yeah? Okay. Let's come back into that dolphin and just lift one leg up. So bring the elbows down, lift the hips up, and lift your left leg. Let's hold it here for 5 breaths. 1, keep pressing the elbows down, shoulders away from the ears. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pitch the shoulders forward. 1, gazing in between the thumbs. 2, 3, keep the breath calm, mind is calm. 4, 5. Press back up, switch sides. 1, lift the right leg up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pitch the shoulders forward. 1, almost done. 2, 3, gazing in between the thumbs. 4, 5, and come down. Good. That's hard. I'm like, my arms are tired. How are you guys doing? All right. Now, if you want to try kicking up into pincha mayurasana, you can. If you want a wall, to just make sure you don't fall over, you can go grab a wall. So while you're learning to come out of pincha mayurasana, it's easier to come into like a split position to help you distribute the center of gravity, but then eventually you want to bring the legs together. So you can watch me or you can just go ahead and give it a try. We won't be here for too long. So you come back into that one leg up, whatever leg is comfortable, and bring that bottom leg as close as you can to in towards your body. And then you shift the weight towards your fingertips and see if you can balance. Pressing the elbows down, shoulders away from the ears. And then once you feel like you have a balance with the legs apart, you can bring the legs together. And then you can either find a banana shape or a straight line, which we don't have to go into that detail. Let's just focus on getting up first. Good, yeah. Nice, I see some of you. Make sure to keep, while you're learning, keep the gaze forward a little bit. So like more in between the hands than in between the elbows. In between the elbows is a lot harder. So while you're learning, keep the gaze in between the hands. Yeah. And don't try to go for legs together right away. Find that split first. You know, it's a little bit easier to balance with the legs apart. So you're here and just try to get some air time with one leg, of kicking the one leg up. Just get some air time. And then you hold it eventually and bring the legs together. Good. So this isn't easy. I see some of you. You're looking really good. All right, try one more time and we'll move on. So maybe you're like, I need to get stronger in my shoulders. Do those drills we just did. Nice. Yes. Another comfortable place to be is like in a thunderbolt. That's a good place. So you're here, and then you can just bend this knee, and then find the balance there. You know? You're here, and then eventually you straighten the other leg. Okay. If you're done trying, let's take a vinyasa. Inhale into a plank. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And jump through to seated. Lie down on your back. Let's do Urdhva Dhanurasana, or bridge pose and back bending. So bend the knees and plant the feet in front of the hips. Feet parallel to each other. First, we'll just do bridge pose. So inhale, lift the hips up, and maybe you can shrug the shoulders underneath, interlace the fingers underneath, or you can catch onto the heel, onto the ankles. Good, and again here you're internally rotating through the legs. So spiraling the legs inwards, moving the knees towards each other, and lifting the pelvis up. 3, breath is smooth. 4, 5, exhale, slowly lower through the spine and then lower the hips. Good. All right, you can do that again, or you can move with me into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Inhale. And exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Good, so you're in bridge pose, and then maybe you can bring the hands next to the ears, fingertips pointing towards the shoulders, and then press into the hands and come to the top of the head. So once you're here, again, check in with the shoulders, move the elbows towards each other, and then I like to plug my shoulders in. This is kind of a weird movement, but I feel like it takes me a little bit deeper into the upper back. Press into the fingertips and move the shoulders in towards their sockets. Elbows in, inhale, press into the hands and move the chest over the hands. Good, press into the feet. Again, moving the knees in towards each other, spiraling the legs inwards. 4, keep the neck relaxed. 5, exhale, bring the top of the head down. Maybe walk the hands in closer. Plug the shoulders in, elbows in towards each other. Inhale, come on. 1, pull the lower belly in and lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling. 3, 4, keep wrapping the elbows in. 5, exhale, tuck the chin, come all the way down. Good. Bring the knees into the chest. And just take a couple deep breaths here. We'll just make this our release. If you want to take happy baby pose, that's a really nice release after back bending. Good. Happy baby or just hugging the knees in, whatever feels good right now. Keep the breath deep and steady. Good, just a couple more breaths here. You can take happy baby if you want. Okay, inhale, rock up to seated. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale into a plank. Shoulders away from the ears. Pull the lower belly in and slowly bend the elbows. Add resistance. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Come to a comfortable seated position. If full lotus is accessible for you, you can take full lotus. Wrap the arms behind the back, grab onto opposite elbows. You can take full lotus and take the bind. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Forehead or chin towards the mat. If you can't reach the floor, you can bring your forehead onto a block. 1. Really allowing the attention to turn inwards here. 2. 3. 4. Following the breath. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Inhale, come up. Release the arms and bring the wrist towards the knees, the pointer towards the thumb. Lengthen through the spine. Same patterning we found in dandasana. Lift the chest and drop the chin down. 1. 2. Stay with the breath. 3. This is a really important moment of the practice where we integrate everything that we just did, everything we learned, all the effort we put in. We let it go in this moment. Just allow it to integrate deep into the body, deep into the mind. 6. Following the breath, staying present with the breath. 7. 8. 9. 10. Release that. One final effort, Uplutihi. You can use blocks. Get them as close as you can in towards the body, in front of the hips. If not, just put the hands directly onto the floor. Okay, if you're in full lotus, stay in full lotus. If not, cross the shins and bring the knees towards the chest. Pitch the shoulders forward, press into the hands and lift the hips. 1. The blocks give you a little bit more space. 2. Keep the knees towards your chest. 3. Keep breathing. 4. 5. Don't come down. 6. Good. 7. 8. Maybe lifting the feet off if they're not off. 9. Keep pressing through the shoulders. Pressing through the shoulders. And 10. Exhale, come down. Good. All right, let's take one final vinyasa. Inhale, make your way into a plank. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, jump through to seated, and exhale, lie down on your back for shavasana. Find a resting pose. Completely relaxing the body. Closing the eyes if you want. Full body relaxation. Just completely relaxing everything from the toes up through the legs, through the pelvis, through the torso. Relaxing the shoulders and the arms and the fingers, the neck, the head, all of the muscles in the face, the jaw, lips, the eyebrows, the eyelids, the forehead, the space between the eyebrows. Feeling that support from the ground beneath you. Just completely relax into that support. Slowly start to deepen the breath. Making small movements with the body. And the fingers and the toes. Good. Slowly start to wake up. Whenever you're ready, you can bring the knees in towards the chest. And come over to the right side of the body, or either side. Good. And slowly make your way back up to seated. Take your time. We'll just take one final seated position, just one final moment here before moving on with the rest of your day. Keep the eyes closed. Just rest the hands in a comfortable place. So allow the attention to be inwards, coming into the stillness. Feeling into the residue of the practice. Sitting here with whatever you feel as a result of the practice. Residue in the body, residue in the breath, residue in the mind. Just observing and being here. You can set an intention if you'd like. Maybe something you feel you cultivated on the mat that you'd like to take with you off of the mat. Or any intention you'd like to make right now. We'll bring the palms to heart center. We'll close the practice with an Om. Deep breath in through the nose. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you everyone so much for joining me today.